In this tutorial, we'll learn how to use the array modifier to create specific patterns like the bracelet. So let's begin. This one is simple compared to the other thing where we did last time. So when you open Blender, press A and delete everything. Now hold Shift A and let's bring in a sphere. If you look at beads, bracelets, they are made from simple shapes. That's why this tutorial is very simple. So this is it. And we want a hole in it where the thread will go through. So press 1, view it from the front and rotate it 90 degrees. So now if you rotate, press 90, type 90, and now it snaps. Hit enter. Now let's go into the edit mode, press tab, and then let's select face. So now drag, select this, drag, select the other side. Now press Ctrl E and then select bridge edge loops. And now we've created a hole. So let's go. Let's add another shape, a cylinder. Let's rotate this one to 90 degrees. And let's move it. Let's make this one a little bigger. Scale it on the x-axis. Let's go into edit mode and let's add a hole to it. Click this side and click this side. You hold Shift to select multiple areas. Now press I and then we can insert a shape inside. I think this size is okay. So I click. Remember the same thing we did, so Ctrl plus E and then bridge edge loops. Press Ctrl R and send the scroll wheel up or press plus to increase the number. I think this is okay, 9 cuts are enough. Then press escape to release it. Okay, let's add one more shape. Shift D, place it on the opposite side. We are duplicating this one. Let's go to edit mode, press Ctrl X to delete the lines, press Ctrl R again, and then duplicate it once, increase it only twice, so 2 cuts, and click, and press escape to release it. Double click on edge and to click the entire ring. Do the same for this side too. So now scale it down. Now, this is not the effect I'm looking for. I want it to scale in line with this. So hold Shift and X so that it scales on the Y and Z axis but ignores the X axis. So I'll scale it down and it stays along it. You can add one more shape, last shape. So duplicate this one again, Shift D, and then go to tab and just press A to select everything and then scale it. And then scale it along the x-axis. Bring it, wait, come to solid mode, bring it closer. So now select all of them and press Ctrl J to join them. So now they are one. They are one mesh. Now let's smooth the edges a bit. Add a modifier, the bevel modifier. You see the bevel modifiers work? It makes it smooths the corners of your mesh. So any angle that is below 30 degrees, it will smooth it. Above, any angle above 30 degrees, it will smooth it out. So it has done the same for this, it's done the same for this, and that's what we want. Now set for the subdivision modifier. The subdivision modifier smooths out your geometry, makes it look smooth. It adds more geometry by making it smooth. I think this is good. This is perfect. So now, how do we make this plenty? We are trying to create beads, so we'll have to repeat this pattern. Right click and then click shade smooth so that you will not see all those lines. So now let's add a curve. So come to the curve, select circle. This will be the thread our beads is going to go through. Select this, come to the add and type array. And you see it is duplicating it, so here's the number. If I increase it, it adds more to it. Turn this off for now so that it doesn't affect your PC's performance. I want it to move along the curve. I want it to be straight, not going downwards. So come here, you see 1 on the X factor. If I increase this, it moves along the Y. If I increase this, it moves along the X. Normally this is the X axis, but it is the Y axis causing it to move along this. So that's an error. So set this back to 0. And now press Ctrl A and apply the location, the rotation. Apply all transforms. So click all transforms and then it should be fixed. Now the transition between this and this look the same. I don't want that to be, so I'll select this, press L to select everything on the ball, duplicate it and move it here so that we can see that they are different. Yeah. So now we have a very nice pattern. So now we want it to follow the curve. So come again to add and then search for curve. Click it. You see the object, we want it to follow the Bezier curve. And now we have this. And now we have our bead. There's a space here, so just scale it. If the space is large enough for you to add more counts, then just increase it. But if it's too much, it's easy, just scale it and then the problem should be solved. Yeah, that's it. Now the thread, select your curve, come to the curve data, open geometry and increase the depth once, and then you have your thread. So now let's texture it. Change it to cycles, change your render properties to cycles. Let's add a light to our scene. I'm adding the area light. I'll be looking at my thing from upside down all this time. Grab. Seems our object is very big, so let me scale it down. If you select both of them together, they will scale without any issue. But if you only scale this one and this happens, if you scale this one, that happens. So scale both of them together, select both and then scale. Okay, so press Z, let's enter the render view. Now let's give our object some texture. So now let's add some texture. Come over, let's change the timeline to the shader editor. And bring this up. Let's increase the light a little so we can see it properly. That is better. And let's turn these things on. Yeah. Now before we do this, we have to assign each object to a texture because all of them are going to have different looks. If I enter the render view, if I click new, if I change the color here to, it affects everything. So we want different things to affect. We want different colors for each of the objects. Maybe this one will be blue, this one will be a glass, this one will be marble. We want different textures and different materials for them. So how do we do that? We assign it to them. So let's go back into solid mode and then enter edit mode. So now select the ball. So here's material 1. So let's assume this material is for the big guy, so we'll not change its material. So let's add a material. Let's assign it to the ball and then click new. Let's call this one first ball. So now click any blank space and then hover around the next one. We'll call this one the slim cylinder. So press L and it selects everything. So now let's add another one. Assign, click new, slim cylinder. The same thing to the next one. New, give it a name, oval. Click, link, add. We should just assign this one to the ball. So remove this one. Good. So select first ball and just click assign. Now we're done. So now we'll play with the colors. Go back into edit mode and now let's go back to the render view and you can see there are different colors. If I change the ball's color to maybe blue, you see it's affecting all the balls. If I send the slim to a bright blue, if I send the oval to yellow, different colors. But this is not enough, we need something realistic. So now let's assign better textures to them. So let's start with the yellow. Press Shift A and search for the Voronoi texture and connect and press Ctrl Shift click. If you've turned on your Node Wrangler from before, you come to editor, edit, come to preferences, come to add-ons and then search for Node Wrangler. Search for Node Wrangler and turn it on. Alright, let's get back to it. So click this and press Ctrl T. Connect the object into the vector. Now let's send the numbers low. We see lower. Let's add a color ramp. Let's increase the black value. Okay, let's ditch the Voronoi texture and let's bring in a noise texture instead. Connect it here and then plug it in. Reduce the number. And let's tighten it. detail down. Let's play with the lacunarity. Okay, now let's play with the distortion. Let's bring the number down again. I think I like this. So let's see, what do we do with the color? We plug this in and then we can see, I think it's black and white. Let's reduce the roughness so it will be smooth. Let me add another light so that we can get the best, we can get some variations of light. Yes, so you can see that, yes, it is smooth. Let's see if let's play with color. Let's play with color. Okay, let's change the texture of the ball. Shift, click on it, and it plugs it in. So now you can see that it is a glass. So I want the color to be maybe blue. Yes. I want to increase the roughness. I want it to be too transparent. I want to change the color. I want to change the color of the oval again. This is yours to play with. So let me show you an easy thing. This is basically going to be the setup for all of them. So select one and select all of them and copy, and then let's go into another one and then paste it. Hey, it wasn't copied well. Control C, copy. Let's go in here and then paste it. I don't know why this thing happens sometimes. Control C and then paste. Yeah, so plug it in and then play with the colors. Let's do the same thing for the slim cylinder. Control V and then plug it in. So play with the colors. And so let me see. Right now I'm setting up my color. I think I like this. Has some sort of earth vibe. If I can keep up with the earth vibe. Now trying something. Okay, white. And then let's increase the white on it so you can play with it. So just play with the colors, play with the pattern. It's yours to do as you please. So this is mine. It's still not over. If you look at beads, you see it's rough. This one looks smooth, it looks fake. So let's add that effect too. So duplicate this. Wait, cancel. Duplicate both of them. Duplicate both of them. All of this. So you select all of them and go Shift D. Plug it into the normal. Click on this and press backspace. It sets it back to black and white. Now search for the bump and place it in between. Connect it to the height. I can see something's happening. It is pulling it up and down. Yes. So we want this one to be subtle. We don't want it to be too much. So send the strength down. Send it up. Whatever is black will go down, whatever is white to come up. So all this black will go down, all the white will come up. The bump it pushes your mesh up and down based on the information given to it. So that's what is happening here. It shouldn't be too much. It should be something small, like this is okay. Duplicate this again. We're adding the tiny bumps. Grab, plug it into the normal and add a bump node in between. Yeah. So plug this into the height. Remember, that's been the height. Now increase the scale. Control Shift click so I can see it properly. Select this backspace so that everything is reset. Set this to B spline and increase the detail to 16. Now increase the scale. Connect the factor into the color radar. Start as happens all of them. Okay, let's be. The pattern is nice. So send this. So if remember, if anything is confusing you, try to look, take your time and then try to look at how the connections are going on. If you are trying to get the same thing I'm doing, I don't advise it, but if you are, slow it down and then look at the values to follow. I think this is okay, so come back to the principle. The bump is too much, so let's reduce it. Okay, I want it to be tighter than this. I don't like how it's all rough. I want it to be bigger. Big patches. I think I like this. I like this. Yes, this is good. Let's reduce the roughness a little more. Maybe we can increase the specularity. Okay. So simple setup. Don't get overwhelmed. So now let's select this and copy it, and then let's bring it into the cylinder and let's plug it into the normal, and then we have the same thing. So easy. Over the same thing and plug it into the normal, and then you would have created your beads with the array modifier. So play with the colors and then find what works for you. I'm not really putting a lot into it because I'm trying to show. So play with your colors. I'm not really good with colors. I'm still learning, so it looks terrible, I understand. So now bring your camera into your scene and then render it. So you create your background, do your artwork, do your thing, and then render it, and then you're done. So this was a very fun tutorial, very short, very easy. People were complaining that the last tutorial was quite confusing and hard, so I did something more basic today. I hope you enjoyed it and then you learned something new. Today we learned about the array modifier. So yeah, crazy ways you can use it. So join in next week and then let's learn something new again. Remember, play with the settings, do what you're comfortable with. It is your work. Nothing is wrong, nothing is true, everything is permitted. So play with it.